Our special correspondent, Alex Crawford, visited the border today with a group of UN ambassadors, a warning that her report includes pictures of some of the war's latest victims.
Only a fraction of aid's getting through to Gaza, and this truck, moving at speed, appeared to have men on top guarding it. At least one of them is armed. But this is sustenance, and it's in scarce supply. People are hungry, thirsty and desperate. This is a fight for drinking water, nothing more. The alarms from the aid organisations are getting more loud and more shrill, but still no breakthrough yet on any ceasefire or peace plan. Those tasked with saving lives in these conditions say simply it's becoming near impossible.
We are also close to a breaking point because the more the level of desperation increases, the more people are also expressing and channeling their anger against the UN and against UNRWA, which is the face of the international community.
There are yet more horribly familiar scenes of frightened families on the run. These, filmed by the Sky News team in the north of Gaza, suggest there are still significant numbers in an area under intense bombardment for weeks now. And the sounds of war indicate Hamas is still fighting. But Israel's emboldened by its latest show of support from the US, which has led to the lack of political consensus at the UN, so the killings go on. About 40 bodies were brought into Al-Aqsa hospital, many from a strike which flattened a building in the Maghazi refugee camp. About 80 people were inside when the bomb struck. Neighbours counted only 6 survived. We joined an unprecedented trip with UN envoys from the Security Council to the Egyptian Gaza border. The group of diplomats was taken to see the lines of urgently needed aid trucks waiting to be taken into Gaza. The hastily organised tour by the UAE is aimed at getting more aid across the border and stopping the bombing. But Israel's key backer, America, was one of the few who didn't join the field trip, amid signs of growing exasperation from their UN colleagues.
So this is really a tragic event, not only for the Palestinian people, but for humanity, for the whole world. We should not allow it to continue. It has been too long.
The UAE has opened a field hospital in Gaza and had wanted to take the diplomats over, but security issues meant they had to make do with talking to medics inside the war zone remotely. This trip was all about galvanising minds, prompting fresh action and demonstrating what can be done. The UAE opened a desalination plant, which they hope will provide fresh water for Gazans, for instance. But it also served to show how America is being isolated over this war.
This is a code red. It is a code red. We have been sounding the alarm. The Secretary General has written a letter to the Security Council invoking Article 99, that this is a threat to international peace and security. We are at code red here. So if the international community does not respond at the speed and pace that is required, we are going to be facing an even more enormous challenge.
The UN envoys could see and probably hear the war happening over the border, and it won't have been lost on them how throughout the debating there are still more than 100 hostages and lives are being snuffed out in Gaza with every day that passes. Lots and lots of them. Alex Crawford, Sky News, on the Egyptian Gaza border.